Hello students and welcome to Project 3. In this project we will be taking our scanned prints from first semester, putting them into Photoshop and making them look very nice. This will be great for you to create a digital portfolio of your work. We're going to take these prints, make them look very nice despite what might have happened to them in the darkroom, if they got scratches, if they got stains, things like that. You will have 5 of these images to work with. They will be in your original images folder. So here I have my example folder here, Mr. Eiler's example. I'm just going to be doing one. You'll have 5 of these. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is drag this, click and drag into Photoshop, and it will open up. As you can see right here, this is not really the correct orientation for this photo. It is really meant to be displayed in a landscape way instead of portrait. So to fix that, I'm going to go to Image at the top here, go to Image Rotation, and click 90 degrees counterclockwise. That's what CCW is standing for. You might need to rotate yours clockwise. Mine is counterclockwise. So now I have done that. If you take a good look at this, you can tell that there are definitely some problems with it. The border at the top here especially definitely has a lot of stains on it. We can tell that there's a thumbprint here. If you take an even closer look, there are many scratches. There are many marks on this print. You can even tell that there are thumbprints and other discolorations in the black and white. So the first thing I'm going to do to correct this border, instead of trying to use the brush or anything like that to fix that up, I'm going to go to the crop tool and click on this drop down bar. Using either original ratio or unconstrained will work just fine, but make sure that in this top bar off to the right you see this little checkmark box that says delete cropped pixels. Make sure that that is absolutely checked, because we want to make sure that this crops these pixels away and completely erases the rough edges of this picture. My lines are going to be perfectly straight. My crop tool is going to make a completely straight line. So if my border is not completely straight, then this will definitely help me keep things very nice and clean on the edges. I click the crop tool again once I've made my adjustment, and I can crop the image and it's done. Now that my border is nice and clean and sharp after using the crop tool, I'm going to start to create my layers that I'm going to work on in order to alter this image to make it what I want it to be. I am keeping my background layer separate from all of my adjustments and anything that I might do, so that if I do alter something I would like to change later, I can always go back and fix it. That's the best way to do anything in Photoshop, and definitely the best way to do this project. So I'm going to make 2 layers here. I'm going to go to the curves adjustment layer, and it will create a second layer for me. I'm going to start to adjust my black and white level. Okay, trying to find what is best for this picture here. Definitely this bottom diagonal mark here is what I want to change first, because oftentimes when these pictures are scanned, the darkness of the image has been lost in a lot of ways. I want to adjust the contrast so it looks very nice, much like the original, or if the original lacked certain contrast, I can definitely change that and make that whatever I would like it to be. Since this is on a separate layer, it is something that can be adjusted and tweaked later on. Next, I will go to black and white and make sure I click on that. Okay, even though it seems redundant and that my picture, well, it's already in black and white, it actually is not. The scanner adds a bit of color to it. It's more of a slight yellowish look, and when there are stains on the print itself, that can actually change the color as well. So this is the quickest way to change something like that, so that the stains are not purple or brown. The entire image here is going to be black and white. Now these reds, yellows, greens, cyans, blues, this will not do anything hardly to this image. If I make certain adjustments to it, it actually will probably make it look worse. That's because the information does not exist for these colors. This image is in black and white, and for the most part, it won't really change anything. So right now I have my black and white layer and my curves layer. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do before I start to make my adjustments and fix up my picture is I'm going to take the background layer, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag it down into this bottom right corner icon here that says Create New Layer. It's this little icon that has this page look to it with the corner folded in. And I'm going to make a background copy. So my background copy is where I'm going to make all of my adjustments. So at this point, I can go to the spot healing brush tool, zoom in on my picture, and I can see all of these spots. Okay, with my spot healing brush tool selected, I'm going to select the size of my brush to the size of the dot itself that I want to get rid of, and I'm just going to start clicking away. When I click on these spots, they disappear. Completely gone. If there is a spot that is one big long line, then I can just click and drag through the line, and that will disappear as well. Okay, this is the layer that I'm going to use to make all of my adjustments. So we can kind of click the eyeball, look back and forth at what I've done, what's come before. If there's something about this that I don't like, I can change this later, but making all these adjustments on the background copy layer allows me to keep my original image the way it was in case I make a mistake in my fixing process that I would like to change.